by Miyelani Mkhabela, who is a political economist, live in Midrand Studios. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thanks, and the viewers at home.
A very good morning. Radical economic transformation and growth will obviously definitely be addressed today. Yet some economists have come out to say that it could have destructive consequences. What are your thoughts on this, and how does the government plan to implement this radical economic transformation?
I think the best way to implement transformation, they can call it radical or what, but the best way, just transformation or expanding the economy to be inclusive to the citizenry and create more jobs. It's around coming up or implementing the IPAP, or the industrial policy action plan of this is like the flagship policy of the DTI. I think that policy, if it can be implemented quicker, and they implement, it's about 12 IDZ or special economic zones that needs to be implemented. And if those IDZ or SEZ get funding, or we manage to get investors, those 12 industrial zones will change our economy to another level. But critically is this 10 years or this 9 years, they have been trying to do several aspects, or like doing investment promotion, but because we have been facing a lot in the country, and our economy is not that much attractive to investors, looking at a lot of things from political and economic stability, and our doing business is not that much attractive now compared to other destinations. You will find like Botswana coming up and being an attractive destination, and is #1 in doing business in Africa. So those kind of things affect us, because investors start to look at other destinations to invest at, while South Africa has opportunities and a big economy to look at. But because of our political and economic system, precisely from government side, that I believe if the government can improve some of the things, I think we can do better in attracting investors.
Could it also have these destructive consequences that some economists have come out to say?
Yes, the issue is investors are looking at when they invest, how will they regain their higher return on investment. And that is always an issue, whether you are a domestic investor, private investor, or foreign direct investment. You will look at how are you going to get your money, and the attractiveness of such an economy. So you find it as an issue. And you will have seen, he hasn't had a good term, because since his term started, it was highly, it's a president that had a high opposition, and of which I don't understand how probably the naiveness of opposition parties in South Africa, because, after you elect the president, you focus in developing the economy, not on the issues of politics, but mainly on focusing on how can we work together, because the president has been elected or the party has won during that time. So the focus is working together, and the campaigns probably can even start 16 months or 15 months. But in South Africa, you find the whole 10 years, and then it's campaigns every day, of which I think the disruptions, it's maturity of South African politics. I think that is a concern, and a lot of political parties or that are in opposition, they don't have anything to add to the economy, because if they were adding something, I think some of the things they will supposed to see how to react and how to use political games, but they are just disrupting the economy, and they make the economy to be in collapse and demarketing the country. The biggest issue during these 10 years, I will say, is that I understand that the ANC has been having some of the things or weaknesses that they have experienced. It's normal. We have seasons that, like, as an economy, will be doing well, but you know, ANC needs to improve, and the opposition party needs to know what to add to the economy so that we can have a full functional democracy. People are allowed to say everything, but how we do it, it mustn't be for the parliamentarians or for political parties. All people who are in leaders, they are elected to solve community problems. So when you are in parliament, when you are opposing, are you adding value to people from Guyana? That's where I come from. And I don't see that ad, because you will find that, like, my area, I go there and I come back. I go to Ndengeza, I go to Guyana. There's no change. I go to a lot of places around. I go to Cape Town, I go to KZN. There will be no change because the issue is opposition. So in a family, if we are not united, there's nothing that you can achieve as a family. So looking at that, it's a concern for our economy.
Now, due to the loss of votes in the last governmental, local government elections, many analysts are saying that the ANC is in political trouble and therefore have to do something radical. And this is exactly what this is. This radical economic transformation has been brought about. What are your thoughts on this?
The radical economic transformation is important for each and every economy, because what they are indicating of, we call it economic reforms. So it's economic reforms where it will be planning for, it can be for 10 years, for 20 years, or for the current term. What is it that we are doing, of which industrialization is a critical aspect, and it can make strides in the economy. We just have about 5 IDZ, or 5 industrial development zones, that are well functioning. And if we can add the 12 confirmed or approved industrial development zones, it can make a huge difference, because that will be a boom like for an economy. So it's just that discipline, from like fiscal discipline, and making sure that all the budgeted like finances, they go directly where they are expected to go. The other things, whether there's opposition or what, I will understand, but the ANC needs to focus in making sure that they deliver to the people on the time that they are given. I mean, when you are a leader, you need to deliver, and you must be remembered for what you have done to the community, not for what you haven't been doing while you have the resources, because you are just given a mandate to use the very same community's money to assist them in planning. So it's not the money of parliament, is the money of the population. So they just have to use it well to benefit the society.
Indeed. In the last zone, Zuma mentioned tightening the rein on government spend. Do you feel they've done this successfully? I
don't think revenue management and expenditure management, or core competencies in budgetary, if they have been attended to, because for example, you find government departments using big cars, luxury cars, for just municipal use. And I think that part we need to step down on it, and then we can just go for a normal bakkie that is cheaper, and then we use those like vehicles and the tools. I'm not saying government must buy quality things. The government needs to buy quality things, but it mustn't be luxury things. It must be things that are for service delivery, because the portion of, if they buy a car for 400,000, let's say a twin cab, why they don't buy a normal bakkie that will be 170, something like that.
You agree with the notion, but has it been implemented successfully?
No, it is not. It is not implemented, because we have.
Because we are still seeing this.
Yes, unnecessary spending, unnecessary luxury like activities. That part we are failing. So in terms of revenue management, we are failing. In terms of budget efficiencies, we are not doing well. I think it's an area where a trillion budget for the past, let's say for the past 5 years, it might have done something that you can see as well.
Indeed.
But are we seeing that? No.